What's the password for Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
Wi-Fi not connected. City of Becker guest.
I'm seeing Robin signs everywhere.
Password for
Yeah,
Wi-Fi.
nicely done.
Better in the mail.
Absolutely.
Thanks for that. That was such a slick website.
It was, they're kind of cheap, but
Yeah.
that's okay.
I don't
Better.
care.
Yeah.
All one word?
All right, it's 5 o'clock. Should we start or should we?
Let's start.
Any capitals or just
Roll.
lowercase?
First letter capitalized in each word.
Wait for Michael. Mr. Technology.
Yeah. I forgot Chicken
You
Little.
forgot the chicken?
This was my standby at least.
Mike, you ready?
Ready as I will be.
All right. Well, then let's go ahead and call the city council meeting to order for September 15th. If you'll join us for the pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Check password.
All right. Has everyone had a chance to look at the meeting minutes from September 1st? If so, I'll ask for a motion to approve as written.
I will make that motion.
I'll second. Motion from Robin, second from Becky. Any other discussion? Hearing none, those in favor can state aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried. Any additional items for this evening's agenda? Hearing none, I'll ask for a motion to approve the said agenda.
Motion
Go ahead.
to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll second it.
Motion from Rick, second from Robin. Those in favor can state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Guests in open forum this evening. Any guests in open forum for us this evening? Seeing none, we'll move on to committee reports. So last Wednesday, we had a ribbon cutting ceremony for the dog park out on the north side of the city park. I was there this last weekend and it was busy. I was very encouraged by yes, applause. Good job. It was very busy out there. So, how about the EDA? You met last night.
Yep. Met just last night. We did have a guest for a guest in open forum last night, so one more than we had tonight. And that was Dan Weber from Sherburne County. And he was talking, he just basically gave us a brief update on the business relief funds. I know there's another name for it, but I can't remember the better name for it. The CARES Act funds that the county has received that they've made available to businesses in Sherburne County. And of course, there's plenty of criteria to them, but those are originally supposed to expire in the end of August. They extended it through the end of September. There is a little bit of funds still left, and so they are still taking applications. There's 3 different funds they've put it into based off of different criteria. So you might not qualify for one, you would qualify for another type of a thing. So, so he gave us an update on that. And for more information, you can go to the county website. It'll give you all the criteria. They're not like it's way too much just to go through here, but otherwise, let's see. We had an update on the comp plan briefly. The regional update. There is going to be a tentative. There's a workshop tentatively scheduled for October 12th. We talked about doing one in the city here, and so they looked at October 12th. Following the EDA meeting. That's tentative, so that's likely, but we'll see. And then we're talking about just briefly if you remember, they did the Sherburne County housing study this summer, and then there was a Becker component to that we did separate, so we're not giving a developer a 300-page document. We're giving them one that's Becker specific and 15 pages, something like that. That's going to be coming back shortly, and that is going to help us with the city-owned lot that we have potentially coming up. So, then we talked just briefly. There's it's going to be coming. There was an old business incentive program, like a document or something. It was unfunded, something we have that's unfunded currently, but it was discovered from 2006, I think it was, yeah. And so that'll be coming to a new council meeting. Basically, we just have to do the cleanup on it, and then we can revisit it. But it's something that has been out there for 15 years. We haven't talked about it, funded it.
So there's a document, is that what you said?
Yeah, it was a business incentive program that was actually passed by the EDA and then the council. So I think the EDA had it in 2005, council passed it 2006. It's fallen off the radar, hasn't been funded. So it had to do with like, you would get like 1% off of, it was for the industrial park.
Landscaping costs or something like that. Not very beneficial, I guess.
So one of those things that, you might relook at doing something else, but as far as this particular one, we just pulled it up and.
When is that housing study document supposed to be done?
They listed 45 days and we're pretty close to that, so it's soon.
I'd like a copy of that when we get it. If somebody can help me out with that.
I would only add, we're hoping to get it through next week. We'll do a relatively quick turnaround from the staff perspective, our edits. Then we'll start incorporating it into the request for proposals for that 10 years.
Yeah, just send me, you can do it by email or document or something.
Just know it's a draft.
Yeah.
But we can do that.
Any other reports? No? All right, we'll move right into administrator and staff reports with the Becker Community Center roof repair. Mr. Knutson.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Tonight, I bring in front of you a proposal for a roof repair at the BCC. The roof, coincidentally, it's had a problem. It's been an issue for a while that we just weren't aware of. So it's a room that contained our gas chlorine tanks. We haven't used gas for probably 17 or 18 years. We have liquid chlorine now. There was a tablet procedure in the middle of that, but now everything's liquid. But during the time where gas was originally installed, that's what the roofers feel caused this problem, that the chlorine gases escaped up the walls and to the ceiling and degraded the pan and rotted it out, basically. So what we've got in the area on the proposal by McDowell, they called it out, it's actually collapsing in. The rubber membrane and the asphalt are holding it in place right now. It's at the corner of one of the buildings, and it actually caused a little bit of tuck pointing damage as well from the erosion. So by calling this out, what they're going to do is look to cut that portion of the roof out, down to the metal pan, replace the metal pan, re-insulate it, re-asphalt it, and tar it and rock it and restore it that way. We're hoping to reuse the caps and the ridge cap on there, so we don't need to do that. But we got 2 bids on the project, one from McDowell Company, who's done a lot of the roofing and the HVAC work out there, and one from Granite City Roofing. McDowell came in a little bit higher. Upon clarifying their bid, they gave us a number not to exceed. They feel that they've taken the perimeter a little bit further, that they want to make sure that the pan integrity is further out than what Granite City feels that it is. So if we're talking like a 10 by 10 area or 12 by 12 area, McDowell is wanting to go a little bit further than that just to make sure. That's why their price is slightly higher than Granite City, but they feel their number is going to end lower than that because they don't think they're going to have to replace as much pan as they're anticipating, but they wanted to cover their bases on that as well. What we also did with McDowell is they're going to do a quick look at the roof for us while they're up there, some of the curb stops, and just to give us an understanding of trouble spots, because in 2022, we've got a major roof repair replacement in our CIP. So we're trying to get our arms around that to kind of head that off. So as part of this, as long as they're on our roof, they're going to kind of give us an idea of what to look for, things to point out, and give us a help, and that's included in this price as well. So in front of you tonight, I have these, looking for a motion to go with McDowell for the repair, but I can answer any other questions as well.
The chlorine, the gas corroded the steel?
That's what everybody's guesstimating. I talked with Kenny extensively on this. He's got a lot of pool experience on that. And that's what everybody is thinking, because you can't, the chlorine smell was always there, but it wasn't like it was massive quantity. It was just erosion over time. And they feel that's what led to it. And it was probably just holding itself up there till it degraded too far. Now it's just literally sinking in. It's about an 8-inch drop in the corner of that area. So we're gonna remove the vent. We don't need the vent in there, so we're gonna get rid of that, eliminate the ducting going to that, and restore the pan. And so again, less penetrations in your roof is a good thing, so that's what we're going to do. And again, we have liquid chlorine now, so it's not a problem.
This is the same room that I'm thinking of. We've had other corrosion
Yes.
issues with any metal that was in there. Probably within the last 5 years, we replaced a bunch of it, so it's not surprising that there was more.
It's unfortunate, but it was the nature of the beast, and that's, at the time when they built the community center, that was kind of the standard, the normal operating procedure for how they treated the water and used it, so.
McDowell is free to get at it right away?
Pardon me?
McDowell can get at the work right away?
Yes. Yeah, we tentatively scheduled them, I think they're next week or the following week, pending council approval. Typically, we do that when we know it's coming, we can back them off, but we just hold the day on the calendar. So they can definitely get to it before we have any weather issues that would slow them down. One point of note on this as well, what we would look to do is pull this in our current 2020 CIP. We've got building improvements set aside. I think it's $90-some thousand. With COVID, we pulled back on that and didn't use a lot of that money. Going into next year, the levy request is higher than our spend by a decent amount in preparation for the roof that's coming up. We would look to use that money out of this year's budget and not change our levy ask for 2021, but look to change our levy spend for 2021 to replace some of this money to improve do the building improvements that we were originally slated to do this year. But we'll talk about that when we get to that point. So again, the levy amount's not going to change, just how we would spend some of those dollars, or the request to spend those in 2021 would change.
How big is this area that we're replacing?
It's roughly, I believe it was 10 by 10 is the area that we're looking at. And I think McDowell pulled it out to 12 by 12, just to make sure that they were covering enough pan. And they said sometimes when you expose it, you can see something different from the top side that you can't see from the bottom side, so.
All right, any other questions for Phil?
That's really $1,250 difference, huh?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, and McGowan is not to exceed.
Right.
Right.
We think I think the best value is McDowell. We're gonna get more for our money, and I don't think we're gonna spend $27,000 with McDowell either.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I'll make a motion, we approve resolution, what is it?
2071.
2071 for BCC roof repair.
I will second that.
Motion from Mike, second from Robin. Any other discussion? Hearing none, those in favor can state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank
you.
you. A call for the public hearing for tobacco ordinance update. Ms. Bleasy.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. So staff is requesting that council call for a public hearing on October 6th at approximately 5 p.m. to consider changes to our tobacco ordinance. These changes would incorporate changes to state statute, including purchase age for tobacco, increases to fines, and a look-back violation period. So tonight I would be asking for that call for the public hearing.
Is there any, is there any mandatory training for sales clerks as far as procedures they should go through for, like they do in liquor business?
Yeah, I did check with the county on that. There is no mandatory training required at this time.
I mean, it wouldn't be much training, but it would be making them aware of what they're responsible for if they do sell it.
There is an organization, an online organization that they can use if they want to provide it to their employees, but it's pretty simple and basic, and the county just didn't have anything that identified as a
Okay.
good training for.
Okay, I'll make a motion, we call for a public hearing October 5th at approximately 5 PM.
October 6th.
Tobacco ordinance update.
Like, do you want to, October 6th at 5 PM? October 6th.
6th, excuse me. October 6th.
Motion from Mike, second from Rick. Any other discussion on that? October 6th date. Hearing none, those in favor can state aye. Aye. Opposed, carried. Thanks, Julie. Consent agenda.
Mayor, City Council, please note, we do have a revision to our consent agenda for September 5th. Item number 1 on the consent agenda, which is the revision, hiring and termination report forms from Becker Community Center and Pebble Creek Golf Club. Then item number 2 is Resolution 2070, which is accepting a donation from the Minnesota Economic Development Foundation, and that was for some training for our Economic Development Director. So if you have any questions, I'll try to answer those. Otherwise, a motion to approve the consent agenda for September 15th, 2020 would be appreciated.
Make a motion, we approve the consent agenda for September 15th, 2020.
Second that?
Motion from Mike, second from Robin. Any discussion? Hearing none, those in favor can state aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Thank you. Payment of the bills.
Motion to pay the bills?
I'll second. Motion from Rick, second from Becky. Any discussion? Hearing none, those in favor can state aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Does council have anything else for the betterment of Becker? Hearing none, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion from Mike, second from Becky. Those in favor can state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned at 5:17 PM.